another episode of Ramble on Movie Reviews. I am Vlad St. Valentine. Sitting next to me is the human representation of the Freakazoid, Mr. Joseph Bowen.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. Behind the camera running the show, we've got the host with the Ramoses, Mr. Caden Ramos.
How's it going, guys?
It's going good, dude. We weren't really sure what we were going to do today. We didn't have anything planned necessarily.
Do we ever?
Well, we used to have a schedule that we promptly went off of and never went back to. All right, so this evening we went and watched... Well, this evening, again, not having a plan, we decided we would just go up to a movie trading company and see if there was anything that looked amazing. And for the most part, it was all pretty generic shit, right? It was like the movies your dad bought 10 years ago and then decided he didn't want because he upgraded to Blu-ray. So it's like, just a bunch of Jason Statham movies on DVD is pretty much all it is. I was trying to get one of those 10 movie packs that had just terrible 30-cent movies that these production companies bought for nothing and then shoved on a pack.
Yeah, I like the public domain ones, like the 100 horror films. So it's on 12 discs,
with a little watermark from the company at the bottom so you can't take their free version and use it in your own free movie set.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I have one of those 100 movie packs. It's got a little shop of horrors on it, which...
That's one I had, too.
Attack of the Killer Shrew and 10,000 Leagues Beyond the Sea. Yeah.
I had that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's got good stuff on it. Not really, but I mean...
I got a few. That's Dementia 13, Carnival of Souls.
Did have Carnival of Souls and Dementia 13.
Yeah, 100. You're bound to at least get 10% of something.
Yeah. There's a couple
and
bangers.
Again, the piece of resistance, Attack of the Killer Shrews. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So we went to a movie trading company in the hopes of finding some gold, and I usually go up to our local recycled books. That's where I found Megaforce and Kingdom of the Spiders and... what was the last one?
Crocodile Hunter.
No,
To the Devil a Daughter.
Devil a Daughter.
Yeah.
I was close.
No, you weren't. But it's okay.
No, you weren't. Okay.
All right. So while perusing through the DVDs, we actually did find something that looked absolutely amazing. Now, they had the Death Race 2000 with your Dave Carradine and your Death Race with Statham. But there was another gem there. And it wasn't just called Death Race. It was Death Race 2050. But it wasn't just called Death Race 2050. There was a tagline at the beginning of that made us know that what we were about to watch was pure fucking gold.
Welcome to Death Race.
No, that's not one.
Oh.
Where's the box sleeve? It looks nicer than this. You have one job to do and you got the shiny bit that's going to reflect on the lights?
Yeah, the one that didn't have the price tag on it.
You son of a bitch. Actually, that's a good point. No. If you guys can read this, I'm sure you've been reading it since the beginning, but you can't. This thing's pretty far back and we don't keep a tight shot on it. Roger motherfucking, I can make a movie out of, the MacGyver of B-movie making, Roger motherfucking Corman's Death Race 2050. Not to mention, Malcom McDowell looking like Matt Damon's stunt double in Candelabra.
I never saw Candelabra, so
It's a movie about Liberace.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And as you were saying, since it's a dystopian society run by Malcolm McDowell, it's the prequel.
Prequel to Tank Girl before they run out of water and stuff.
See, more reasons for me to get in contact with Lori Petty. I love you, Lori. Death Race 2050. This movie had a bunch of actors in it that you're like, I kind of recognize that person, but you don't actually recognize them from fuck all. Except for Malcolm McDowell, of course. And this was almost on par with what's his name? I'm drawing a blank right now. Starship Troopers, RoboCop. Paul Verhoeven. Yeah, this is on level with a Paul Verhoeven tongue-in-cheek, social, overhanded, hand-fisted social commentary type, film.
Oh, these are small.
Well, yeah, they're for little girls. And us, because we're both princesses.
I think those are the rules.
While I was opening this, you were supposed to talk about the movie. Have you said anything about the movie yet? Have you made
a
one
guy looked like Rocky, and his hair looks like Egon Strangler. No, that's Egon Spengler. That's me.
You're Egon Strangler, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just saying with a T and not a P.
All right, so the plot of this film is the rules for the rules from we were established in the last one where it's prisoners who are having to race and they're, I say the last one, I think there was another one in 2010.
They've made a bunch of those, Statham type ones. I have not seen a single one because they did not look appealing to me.
So the Statham death races, which I guess were a loose reboot then,
Very loose, yeah.
So is this one supposed to be in the same universe as the original 20 or original 2000 then?
I think so.
Well, the character Frankenstein's not old and washed out.
It's a reboot of it, I guess, with the original one because, I mean, spoiler alert, in the original one, Frankenstein has a hand grenade. If anyone remembers the hand grenade. No? No? Like, it's in his hand. Okay, like, I'm not crazy here.
What are you talking about?
You have one job.
I was reading it. What do you want?
The original one.
I never saw the original.
Oh, spoiler alert, Frankenstein has a hand grenade. And
where do you keep a hand grenade?
it is in his hand, yeah. Like it's like in.
Never would have thought of that.
All up in his area, playa. But
so Frankenstein's got his hand grenade.
Yeah.
And
that's the end. Roll credits. And so this one's more like a reboot than it is a sequel because he's alive.
Oh, does he die in the original one?
Yeah. He meets the chairman guy, whatever, and shakes his hand with the hand grenade.
Oh, I gotcha. So I kind of like the Statham take as far as there being something to fight for. You know, there's a prison sentence and this, that, and the other. Kind of gives the race a little more of a, I don't know, it just adds stakes because the whole entire time she kept asking him, like, so the racers are racing. We've got no idea why they're racing. They're just racing because they have races.
It's just a race. That's all it is. It's just a race.
It's mostly just distraction because at this point in time, all of humanity is like 99.9% unemployed and they're just sitting at home on these little...
This year, cutting-edge technology from UCA puts you, the home viewer, in the passenger seat in stunning virtual reality.
Well, it's Roger Corman, so they couldn't afford actual VR headsets, so he just painted some swimming goggles black and said they were VR headsets. And not like the full goggles either, like just the little two eyepiece ones. Yeah.
But thanks to those, you can also hear and smell. It immediately made me think of that episode of, was it Futurama, I think, where they had... They played some old movies. I got to put on my breathing glasses.
Well, my theory behind this is that Roger Corman, I don't think ever actually buys props. He just finds what's ever sitting around. And you guys saw, like, you know those goggles, right? They always come in a set with the goggles and the little nose clip, you know? Mm-hmm. And, like, if you ever saw Battlefield Earth, the little nose clips that the fucking Cyclones were having to wear, the Cyclones and the humans whenever they're in different places, like, I imagine that's where those came from, were sets with the goggles. And they just threw the goggles out. And so somewhere in a pile behind, you know, John Travolta's house were those unused goggles. And Roger Corman, while dumpster diving, discovered them, decided, hey, VR. Did you follow all that?
Surprisingly, yes. And it makes no sense, but that's why it makes perfect sense.
What do you mean it makes no sense? Are you telling me that you believe Roger Corman is above dumpster diving in Hollywood's trash to find things useful for his film?
No, I just don't think he knows where John Travolta lives. All right, so all in all, I actually, even though this thing was very, very low budget,
it's a Roger Corman flick.
I was very happy with it.
There was some minor plot about...
It was so reminiscent to the original movie.
So basically, the death race is going on, and there's different legs that take, you know, place during the day, and then they reach their checkpoint, and they stop for the night. So we have these little down scenes where the drivers, and they have a co-pilot with them during these races that basically are just...
VR headset person.
Yeah, they're the people with they have a little helmet on with a little flip-down eyepiece. They're basically the cameramen, you know, getting this, transmitting sights, smells, and everything else to people in VR so they can be right up close to the action.
Sights, smells, the alligator crotch.
So Frankenstein in this one, because the original Frankenstein choked himself to death, is being played by a Zog from the Hobbit movies. And one of the dudes from 30 Days from Night. He looks so familiar, but ultimately he just kind of looks like a bargain basement Frank Castle.
Yeah, he kind of does, but he wouldn't be able to play Castle as well as the dude from the show I didn't like.
Yeah, I don't think this dude was bad in playing Frankenstein, though. I thought it was a good...
No, yeah, he's fine Frankenstein.
He's fine. He's fine.
He was Feinstein.
Feinstein.
Where's the R? There's R.
So, at least his VR lady thought he was Feinstein.
That's true.
But they
she
keep
was
asking
all
him,
over
you know,
that Franken dick.
Well, she wanted to get him with her vagina bear trap. I'm not going to even explain that. I'm just going to leave that one out of context. So, the drivers have these pilots with them, or these little co-pilots with them. They got a new guy, the Jed Perfectus, who's the new pretty boy they're going to try and promote. But ultimately, it's just kind of a government it's government sponsored games basically. It's gladiatorial games, and there's no real purpose for. It's like back because the gladiators even had you win so many you get free.
Yeah, because they did have the annual Euthanation Day in the original one, where they just brought all the old people out in wheelchairs.
Yeah, so they're encouraging people to run over young people and old people and things like that.
Different points for what you hit.
With 10 points for an adult, double that for a child, and a whopping 50 points for the senior set.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with the points. 10 for an adult, 20 for a child, and 50 for an elderly person. Although, honestly, I think they should have flipped the young person and the elderly person. Because, elderly people aren't going to last that much longer and suck up that many resources anyway. Although they'll have drugged out people who were kind of skipping around. Were like, I'm 150 and I'm not going to die. Woo! But it's like, that would imply that modern medicine has made people, live longer. But, I can't imagine any of these motherfuckers ever going to a doctor. So, I'm not real sure how that works.
They definitely wouldn't be able to afford it.
But the great...
Because they changed it to the United States. It's the United Corporation of America. So we know for a fact there's no health care.
Yeah, there's Texas is New Texaco. And
New Texaco, I loved that.
What was the...
Amazona.
Amazona was good.
It was the Washington, D.C., formerly Dubai.
Yeah, formerly Dubai.
This was on par with, as far as the social the over-the-top zany social commentary, it was about on par with, I would say, a Mike Judge film.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is somewhere between Mike Judge and Verhoeven.
That's a really good way to put it, yeah.
And I liked it a lot. And it's because it's Roger Corman, it was made with no damn budget, but it's still passable as a movie regardless.
And yeah, the really crappy effects worked with it.
I like this better than the Death Race Jason Statham one, hands down. I would rather watch this over and over again than watch any Jason Statham movie, actually, except for Big Snatch.
It looked and felt just like the original from, when did that one come out? 70, 77, something like that?
I don't know what the look and feel, but it looked like terrible. It looked like a lot of the free effects that we get, whatever we just buy little video packages on Humble Bundling crap. 50 free fire effects or 50 fire effects for only $20, down from $200. You know what I mean? Those were the fire effects they had. The only difference was they actually laid them in pretty good. They weren't nearly as bad as The Dead Hate the Living. The explosions that happened, obviously they're in the fucking hills of LA and they can't actually set fires there. They probably don't have a permit to shoot there. They're probably just doing it when no one's around.
Probably do have permission to use.
Yeah, so at least they were able to hide the explosions behind ridge lines so you couldn't see it jumping off the mat of the frame.
Yeah.
So kudos to Roger Corman again, because the man knows how to make shit. The man knows how to make absolutely nothing, and...
Is that an O or a 0?
Oh, dude, he's got... It doesn't matter, as long as it'll spell for it. We have golden ones over here, too. There's some more golden letters. There's a terrorist organization or resistance that's trying to, wants to kill all the racers and stuff like that and start society over again. But really, the head of their group works for Malcom McDowell. And so it's all just, the corporations just keeping people in fighting and keeping people distracted. And honestly, the plot of this movie is not why you watch this movie. It's almost for those little in-between bits of the people on television and the vapidness. And it's really damn funny. And just the little stuff they throw in, there's a redneck chick who started her own religion and she's praise St. James Dean, and it's all the holy Elvis and the prophet John Morrison and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know who this woman, the actress was, but she was funny. She was over the top. She was perfectly how she needed to be. The entire time I was watching, I was either Jamie Presley was too old for the role now or they just couldn't afford her. Because it was basically Jamie Presley impersonation is what she was doing.
Okay, I got Ted Cruz is the Zodiac, and I just need an E. Do you have any normal letters over there?
I don't have an E now.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I've got an X and 2 Qs. What the fuck is this thing?
Why do you have 2 Qs and only one E? What?
Speaking of shit, this movie was awesome.
It was. I loved it.
They had, the only thing it fell flat on is occasionally they would try and do a little bit of emotional, like heartstring or build up a little bit of relationship stuff. But I don't think they were trying that hard because honestly, I don't think there was anyone in this movie who didn't know exactly what type of movie they were in.
Yeah, they all knew. They must have all done the research and saw the original ones. Like, okay, we're doing this.
It's like, oh, we're gonna do Death Race. Okay, so
this
we
is
can't
how
be.
It's gonna go.
Oh,
okay.
the maker of Carnosaur is directing this. Yeah. All right, guys.
It's sad. I remember as a kid, Carnosaur scared the crap out of me.
Okay.
It did. I don't know why. I was also like, I don't know, like 5, 4 or 5, something like that. I don't even remember it now. I remember there were chickens.
The little ham-fisted, the tongue-in-cheek. I'm not ignoring you. Sorry. I'm trying to get through this fucking movie. If you like Idiocracy, but you were watching Idiocracy, and you're like, man, I really wish that Terry Crews would just smash somebody's head like a grape and their eyes would bust out. Then this is the movie for you. This has got what you were missing out of Idiocracy. Like, it's just Idiocracy with more people getting run down by, but basically it looks like cardboard go-karts. Like,
it looked like a soapbox derby.
Yeah, they repurposed all the cardboard used in Megaforce.
To be fair, it looked a little bit better than Megaforce.
Oh, what did I say that I said? Cornfield Ninjas. That's a thing that happened in this movie. I never thought I'd say Cornfield Ninjas before.
Yeah, with like giant Sinbad the Sailor pants on too. It was not very conspicuous outfit. No. Yeah, so as soon as they get to the red zone, which is like the red states, and all the rednecks have guns, and like again, I can sit here and just go through all the little bitty gags in this movie, but like you kind of just need to go watch it because it doesn't really stop, and it just gets like, and there's a bunch of little things in there that are more clever and funny than this movie really deserves to be. Like there's a moment where the perfect guy, Perfectus, is having a freak out because ultimately he's got a lot of latent homoerotic desires within him and he doesn't want to face them. And so he's like tearing apart and wrecking his hotel room. And in the montage of him wrecking the hotel room, it cuts to a part where he's just gently blowing out the candles and then goes back to yelling and screaming and breaking stuff. Like
he goes to pick a fight, yeah.
It's like that scene from Walk Hard where he's bending the forks.
Yes. Yeah, he's bending the forks. He ran out of sinks to rip off the wall. Yeah. It was very much like that. I loved that scene of this movie. Like, I like that clearly not a single person took their role seriously, and that's why it was so good to me.
Except for Malcom McDowell.
Oh, well, again, we're pretty sure they did most of filming in his house.
Yeah, every time we saw him, he was like dressed like a cross between Hugh Hefner and Liberace and was just hanging out with like naked topless women. Like there was a scene where he's on a video and they've got like a tight shot on his face, but there's just 2 nipples coming in like flanking him from either side, like they're like lion ramparts on a fucking like coat of arms.
Right at eye length too. It's like, well, do I make eye contact or nipple contact?
Yeah, it's a good thing he was wearing glasses, otherwise he might have lost an eye.
That's very true.
There was gratuitous nudity in this, like scenes like that, but it wasn't sexy. It was just funny and just ridiculous because it was what it was. A lot of fans for the different racers like out there just trying to be martyrs to let their racer run them over so they get points. And there's a R&B rapper character who's Minerva, who's fighting with
die.
Tammy the terrorist, who's the redneck religious lady, and Tammy runs over some of Minerva's followers, and then she gets them.
Minerva gets her followers back by running them over. Oh, it's so good. It is so over the top. And I love movies that will not take themselves seriously like this. Bad
visual effects, trauma level blood without as far as quality, without the trauma level of excess. But I mean, there were some great moments. Like they start a revolution at the end. There's something good. Like it's not like a good thing. People just start they basically incite like a purge. That's how the movie ends with them basically inciting a purge. They kill Malcom McDowell and they're like, go. You have the power to take whatever you want. Go for yourself. Since everyone's basically unemployed. It's like, so go get your car and race. And blah, 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 blah. So, like, everyone just, like, doesn't get in a car. They just basically take their VR headsets off and just start killing each other. So, I mean, this is what they want. They want to restart society. It's like society's gone too far. We just need to hit the reset button. But, like, the main dude, there's this guy, this bum guy we've been kind of watching it through his eyes, like, on the VR throughout this thing. And yeah, at the end, he's like, I've got the power. I'm going to go out, itself and showing everything going chaos. We keep cutting back to him. He's busting this little fucking emergency thing. There's keys that were in a lockbox. He had to open them forever, man. It had like a break glass in case of emergency. He's got the keys. And he goes down. There's an old rusty, like fucking Mad Max, like dirt bike thing. Takes the cover off, puts his helmet on. He comes cranking out of the fucking gate, and there's just chaos everywhere. And he's about to ride out and join the chaos and be a conquering king. And some little fucking 10-year-old on a bicycle throws a Molotov cocktail at him. He catches fire and like blows up, and his head goes fucking rolling down the street.
Bottle kids, man. Bottle kids.
Don't trust children. All right, man. Anything you want to say about this movie? I highly recommend this, actually.
It was a lot of fun. I had a great time, and I will definitely watch this again.
Yeah, it was bad in the worst possible ways. It's actually a Universal film. Holy crap.
If you want an enjoyable movie when you're, stoned, watching it with your girl, or just drunk with guys,
Yeah, this is one of those perfect, just all your buddies sit around and watch it, because it's Hunger Games as far as like this dystopian post-apocalyptic, the announcers are very like, give me that rich, vapid, halves vibe, but it's all played so ridiculously, and the effects are like, there's one point in time where they have like these electrified stun batons there when he's fighting the ninjas in the cornfield. God, that's a cool sentence I didn't think I'd ever get to say.
Cornfield ninjas. But like they didn't really have good electrical effects, so it's just like bad glitter effects that are kind of like dripping off the ends of these things. Like they get up close, you can see like a little bad electrical effect, like something you'd see from like the PBS TV show Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, we just made that reference.
We did. Stay tuned next week. We're making Wishbone references.
Best actor ever. He played literally every role.
With the dog?
Yeah. Played every role. Like, no one can play all those roles better than Wishbone.
Yeah, dude, go watch this movie. This was pleasantly. This was a pleasant surprise. I was very happy with how this turned out.
Same.
We've got like Psycho Gorman. We watched it last week or a couple weeks ago. And we'll put the video out. In fact, this may come out before that does. And I like Psycho Gorman, but it's a modern movie that's trying to play campy, and it does it well. You didn't think so?
No.
You didn't think it played campy well?
No, it tried too hard to be campy.
I liked the rubber monsters.
The practical effects were good. I enjoyed that. But as an overarching thing, I think they tried way too hard to be B-movie, C-movie.
No, Psycho Gorman suffers from, ain't I cool? You know what I mean? Look how cool and clever I am.
Yeah.
That's Psycho Gorman's fucking problem. That and that little girl who needs to be fucking kicked in the teeth. What else can we talk about with this movie?
I think we kind of covered it good enough.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Guys, definitely go watch this. It was great. And I'm going to encourage us to go on a Roger Corman kick at this point because that was beautiful.
I'm all about it.
I kind of want to do some more.
Anything you gotta do to put off that Garfield 2, huh?
Anything I gotta do, dude.
It's coming. You just don't know.
I will.
Let me see if I can't get a version of it signed by Bill Murray.
That'd be a waste of Bill Murray's signature.
It'd be a waste of his time, and that makes it worth mine.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Ramble On. This was a fucking train wreck, just like this movie. Actually, no, this movie was not a train wreck at all. Roger Corman is he's the master of being given. Again, I'm going to go back to say, like I said before, he is the MacGyver of no budget. He will make you a movie out of an avocado, a snorkel, and some duct tape. So go watch this flick. If you can go find it, if you can find it anywhere. Again, we picked it up for $7 at a Hollywood Video or whatever
Something
it was.
like that, yeah.
Movie trading company. So
like $5 or $7, yeah.
Yeah, it's a damn shame that no one's seen this because I didn't know it even existed. It's
I didn't
fucking
either.
amazing.
I had no idea until today.
Yeah, I don't think nobody watched this one because it was just in the original shrink wrap, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Wow. This was probably the best just random find I think we've gotten so far. And I was pushing for Full Moon Roulette earlier, and I'm glad that we went with this instead. So I'm glad we found this. I'm glad we took the chance of just driving up to the store, drive to a physical fucking store. Instead of just hunting through all the bullshit on Netflix or Hulu or just like whatever we could find streaming, we actually got our dead asses up and drove to a store because we're old people and that's what we do. And we found this gem, this Roger Corman gift to the world. God bless you, Roger. I thought you were dead 5 years before this movie was fucking made. Please go watch it, guys. Like, subscribe, and thoughts?
Nope.
Say hi to your mother for me. I wonder, how did Spider-Man get anything done?
It's a good question.
Fucking shit.
Between having to deal with all this kind of stuff and then Mary Jane and her smoking habit.
Yeah, 2 packs a day.
2 packs a day.
You know what? From now on, every time. You know what? Every time I hear MJ or read MJ's voice, I'm no longer going to hear Kirsten Dunst. I'm going to read it as Dr. Mrs. the Girlfriend. Peter, what are you talking about? Go get him, Tiger. Thanks that you won the jackpot.
Have you seen my Ferragamo?
I can't even do that voice without coughing.